Next up on the call is Arkansas Pine Bluff head football coach Monte Coleman. Coach Coleman and Pine Bluff fell short to Southern University by a score of 29-21. This week, they travel to Itta, Mississippi, and they'll face Mississippi Valley State for a 2 p.m. kickoff. Good morning, Coach Coleman. Are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. If you could talk about your game with Southern and preview Mississippi Valley this weekend.
Well, let me ask you a question before I start. You said it's a 2 p.m. On my schedule, we've got a 1 p.m. We'll talk about that in a minute if you can research that for me as we talk. But we fell short this week against Southern. I thought our kids came ready to play. Of course, it was homecoming for us. Southern came in and played a real good football game against us. I thought the key to the game was a couple of big plays against us. They had a long run of about 26 yards to get their first score. We blocked their extra point. Falls in one of their players' hands, and they falls into the end zone, give them 8 points. And then we had a busted coverage for a long touchdown pass, and that became devastating for us. It was those big plays I thought was the key to the football game. I thought our kids played hard, like I knew they would. Just unfortunately, we lost on the scoreboard. We had pretty good productivity on the in the stats. But like I said, we lost on the scoreboard. This week we're preparing to play Mississippi Valley. We'll travel there to Itta to play Valley. And we're preparing today to get ready for another hard-fought football game to get our first victory. And that's how we're viewing it right now, just taking it one game at a time in the last 4 games and trying to win one football game, which will be against Valley.
The floor is now open for Arkansas Pine Bluff head coach Monte Coleman.
Coach, I.C. Morrell, Pine Bluff commercial. Antonio Jenkins, according to my notes, he did so, but he didn't record any tackles. Was there anything anything wrong that happened with Antonio on Saturday?
Antonio was suspended. I suspended Antonio for the game for disciplinary reasons, so he didn't play.
And what kind of impact do you think that had on the defense right there, not having the second leading tackler in the defense?
I don't think it had any impact. I don't think the plays that was made against us, Antonio would have had any impact on it. The thing we've got to understand, we're playing a team game, and there's a part of it, which is a big part, is discipline. You've got to abide by the rules. So one player doesn't stop us from playing. Could he have helped us? Possibly. But Jerine Harris, but Xavier Lofton and Willie Duncan, they came in and played well for us at the linebacker position.
Now, will Antonio be back for the Valley game?
Yes. Okay,
all right. And another name I hadn't seen, and I might be pretty late catching on to this, but we had talked about Lawrence Henderson before the season. Was Lawrence still with the team, or?
No, Lawrence left doing training camp.
Oh my, yeah, okay.
He's never started the season with us.
Okay. Was he just unhappy at UAPB, or?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And just want to get an injury report. Are there? You have any significant injuries on your team right now?
None significant. Got guys with bumps and bruises. But other than that, I'm looking for all the guys that pretty much played this past weekend to play this weekend coming against Valley. Against Mississippi Valley.
Gotcha.
Still talking with Arkansas Pine Bluff head coach Monte Coleman.
Come on. How you doing?
Coach,
all right.
Good to talk to you again. Right. How intense do you think this battle will be against Valley? Because this is a case of a one-win team against a team still going for their first win. Teams, within close proximity. Just in your mind, how intense do you think this game will be?
Well, I don't think it's going that the record has anything to do with the intensity of the game. It's just a matter of, it's sister schools, conference games. It's going to be a high impact game, I believe. I think it's Valley's homecoming. There's added incentive for them, but I don't think it's predicated on them being able to win one game, and we haven't won any. Once we get on the field, it's sister school against sister school. So I think the impact is going to be great.
Gotcha.
For the effort, it's going to be great.
Gotcha.
We could have not lost a game this year, or they could have not lost a game this year. And once we get on the field, it's going to be a hard-fought football game because it's a SWAC school.
Right.
Coach, what is the level of frustration like with your team coming off of a memorable year, a record year for you, and then not picking up a win as of yet?
It's frustrating, but it's not demoralizing. We know that the woes that we've got to go through. It's actually a great learning year for us. The young men have to understand that they've got to matriculate. They can't allow setbacks because the team suffers from it. And because of that, that's where we are. There's 9 guys that we're missing that would have started for on our defense. And if we even add the ones in the least 4, it's something that we got ourselves in the foot. Got to do a better job.
Mute on.
But the young guys that we've got playing right now,
we're hearing a lot of driving noises. If someone is driving and they're using a cell phone, please put your phone on mute. We greatly appreciate it. We're having a hard time.
Mute off.
Thank you. Any more questions for Monte Coleman, Arkansas Pine Bluff head football coach?
Coach, what have you seen? This may be a tough question to ask, but what have you seen that you've liked or that is consistently working for you, whether it's offense or defense?
Ben Anderson, he's working for us. He's staying within the system. He's been consistent pretty much throughout the season. We've got 3 freshman running backs. Each one of those guys are contributing very, very well to us and for us. On the defensive line, we've got 3 young guys that's playing there. They're getting better and better each week. We've got 2 freshmen, strong safety, and he's improving each week. So there's a lot of bright spots, even though we aren't winning football games, but there are a lot of bright spots within our football team. If we look at the statistics from this last game, we outrushed Southern. We outthrew Southern. We just didn't beat them on the scoreboard. So there's a lot of positive that's coming from these games, and plus a lot of these young guys getting something that's very, very valuable to them, which is those SWAC hours, getting that experience.
Coach, what catches your attention right out of the gate when you see Mississippi Valley?
Actually, I have not seen them in full detail, so I'm not quite sure. We're getting ready to go into another meeting right now. We just got out of a staff meeting. Now we'll start working on our Valley right now. Now the coaches, of course, have broken down 2 films from their last games, and now we'll start on this game from this past weekend. So I can't really answer that question right now.